Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to say when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way and strong enough that I can shake the pain. We don't ask for the doors to close in this life.
Woo! Oh, welcome back to Find the Line, where it's horsepower season, everybody. Make that horsepower this off season. This week, we're checking in on the Midwest heartbeat of all things cutting edge and badass. We think this guest only sleeps on even numbered days, and damn can he multitask. Shout out to all my hunting brothers and sisters out there. We are going to need to send some major positive vibes to this guest. He had a hell of a target buck, and it sounds like the neighbor got him. So unbuckle. Let's get some caffeine. Let's go fast and take chances. You heard it, three-time guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the number 390, Jay Jelinek. Jay, how's it going?
It's going good, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, and what the heck? Tom, Logan, another background. Are you in a freaking hotel again? Where the hell are you?
Yeah, back on the East Coast for the week. But even though I'm not at home, I can guarantee I probably had a better Wednesday than you guys either way. So
I'm sure. What happened?
Todd Pinsonault, U.S. Hill Climbing, invited me up to a pretty cool old school tavern and restaurant. So I went up there with him and his wife Raylan for the night and had some pretty good food and better company, and back to the hotel room now and one more day out here.
Woo! Look at that. Look at that. Repping. That's unbelievable. U.S. Hill Climbing zone right there. That's
like
awesome.
We planned it.
Just like you planned it. That's cool. Well, shout out. Thanks, Todd, for taking out our boy. That's cool. Well, how was it? Was it good?
Good food, yeah. And it's super cool. Like I think he told me that the restaurant, it was originally built in 1771.
Whoa!
And they claim that George Washington stayed there. It was like basically a tavern and a hotel for travelers way back in the day.
Wow!
That's the cool part about the East Coast. You've got all kinds of cool history like that. But it was awesome. Yeah, I had to duck through all the doorways. They were made for people much shorter than me.
That's not uncommon. That's not uncommon.
So gave a little bit of something to look forward to on this most recent trip out east.
That's awesome. Well, not riding, but still getting together, talking smart, and having some good stuff. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, and Jay, we're in the deep of it here. We're coming into the first week of December, and for Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, as I said in the intro, we're just tailing down with gun season for whitetail bucks. And oh my, I'll see if we can post it when Luke's doing in the edit. You sent me a picture of your target buck. And are you okay? Do we need to send something up North Antler way to get this figured out, or are you going to make it?
I'm not really okay, but I try to pretend that I am and try to just think more about dirt bikes than hunting at this point. So that helps.
At least you have you have somewhere else to put that energy, right?
For sure. Thank goodness. Because if I only had the hunting thing, it would be pretty rough for sure.
Oh, wow. Was it the neighbor when I said it, or who was it that got it?
Yeah, it was a guy hunting the neighboring property that ended up getting it. So congratulations to him, I guess. But yeah, I was kind of telling you guys before the show, it's like the equivalent of all the time and effort you put into racing, and then when you get injured, it's just like a big kick in the nuts. But I would argue it's even worse with a big deer, especially like just a world-class deer, I would say. Just because like you get injured, you heal again and can get back on the bike and go. But like once that deer is dead, you put all that time and effort in. Like you still have the memories and the encounters and stuff, but like it's just not the same when it's on somebody else's wall. So it's never going to be on your wall, and you just got to sit and think about that for the rest of your life, I guess. So it's tough, but at the end of the day, it's an animal with bone on its head. So could be worse as well. So
You're making my heart hurt with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that, and I mean, it's not only that, but you're not like traveling around high fence hunting. I mean, this is in your backyard basically, and this is Mother Nature. Like, it's like I have friends that food plot, mineral, put everything you could ever put in, but if you don't got the genetics, if you don't have the right area, like you may never have a deer like you had on camera. And did you have? I mean, I'm sure. Did you have opportunities? Please don't tell me that like it was at your stand like opening morning when you were in Sweden or something.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
There was multiple encounters throughout the first few months of season or whatever. We have a long bow season in North Dakota.
Right.
But yeah, like the Sweden trip and going to the Gotland Grand National, I knew that was a risk. Like when I committed to go, knowing I was kind of had committed my fall to hunting that deer. I knew it was a risk, but I thought I could get it before we left and everything would be good and fine. It didn't happen. And the last week of October when we were in Sweden typically is like my favorite weekend of the year to hunt, actually. And before we even got on our plane to leave to Sweden, I had a daylight picture of it on my camera.
No.
We weren't even on our plane yet.
No.
I thought about driving home and going hunting, but just decided not to. And because I still could have probably finagled the flights. We had still had a few days before the race started and whatever. But
Damn.
Hunting gods, don't do this to Jay.
Crazy.
What are you doing? Oh, that's torture.
And then about 50% of the days we were gone, it was on my camera in daylight as well. So, before that, it was a lot of back and forth cat and mouse. So it was like he finally started to show himself a little bit more, and I wasn't there to capitalize. So that's kind of on me. That's where I try to just live life and not. Like I said, it's just an animal with bone on its head. So just trying to not make a bigger deal out of it than it was. But it was like a bucket list item. Size deer for me that you don't see every day. So I've been waiting ever since I started hunting for a deer of that caliber, and might never see another one. So it hurts for sure. But
well, let's
more
hope he
dirt
did a
bike
lot.
talking will be good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
let's
we
hope
gotta
that.
stop talking.
Yeah. Let's hope that deer did a lot of breeding before it got taken, because that you want those genetics in the neighborhood. That was pretty special. So
For sure. And I know he bred at least 2 or 3 does before he got taken. So there is solace in that. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. All right. Well, good deal. Well, I mean, exciting. That's the heartbreak of hunting, especially nowadays, with trail cameras and all the technology that's at our fingertips. There's not a lot of surprise to hunting, but it takes 3 times the energy and effort nowadays than it used to. Because before you never knew, so people never put that energy or effort in. But now people know what they can do, so they put all the time and energy and effort into it. And I'm bummed that it didn't work. But at least your wife didn't hit it with her car or something. That would have been the most insult, right? Like smoke it with the car on the way to the airport or whatever. That would have even been worse. Right?
Yeah, right.
That would have been the Cipala luck. That would have been if Logan starts hunting, he will hit it with the Civic by accident. Going to work in the morning. That's what he'll do. So
as long as you kill it, it counts, right?
Well,
sure does.
They claim you're supposed to paint headlights on the bullets, then they won't move when you shoot, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. And for people, we talked about it last time you were on, but obviously you're a taxidermist, Jay, and not only hunting is a passion, but it's also how you make some of your money in your life. And how is that end? Did you get a lot of mounts in this year? How's your season looking?
Yeah, I did. I got about the right amount for where I wanted. It's enough to. I'm still catching up a little bit from last year. Just all the irons I got in the fire. I haven't made as much progress as I needed to, and work took a little bit of a backseat to hunting throughout the fall with that deer I was chasing. So I got pretty good queue of work to catch up on as well. Some African stuff as well as whitetails. So
really, African?
Some local hunters went over and shot some zebras and gemsbuck and
dang, that's cool.
wildebeest, hartebeest, stuff like that. So I got quite a few amounts of those to coming
Heck
up
yeah.
as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, send us some pictures of that crap. That's awesome. That's really cool. Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, it's expand. I like to focus on whitetails as much as I can, but it is kind of neat to just expand out a little bit and work on some of that other
Yeah,
exotic
for
stuff
sure.
as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, good deal. Well, we wanted to talk to you for so many different reasons, but that was one of them. But we might touch back more on it. But also, wow, we tried to get you right when you got back, but you're just extremely busy. But to go to the Gotland Grand National in Sweden, you'd kind of mentioned it a little bit offhand on one of your trips on to Find the Line a little bit, and I love that you're the kind of person where it's a thought in your head and you just turn that sucker into reality. When was the point where you decided like it's going to happen? Was it last summer, this fall, or when did you kind of decide like we're doing this?
Well, the original idea of just even competing overseas, I mean, that's probably this is my third time to Sweden now, so probably after the first time, started brainstorming a little bit and trying to figure out like where there was a race, and started looking to see if Sweden had a hill climb because maybe thought I wanted to do that, and then just figured out finally that they had not only just a really cool enduro, but the largest enduro in the world in Sweden.
Dang.
So I actually just kind of kicked it around a little bit for the last year or two. I don't even remember, but then Britta, my wife, really wanted to get back to Sweden. She likes to go about every other year. She's got a cousin that lives over there and just loves it over there. If she wasn't married to me, she'd probably move over there. So, yeah, when she decided or was talking about really wanting to go, that was kind of this summer. Then I started looking into the race a little bit more serious and like seeing what it took to be able to compete. And there's a few hurdles and stuff you got to jump through with the AMA and FIM just to be eligible to compete coming from the United States. And figuring out how I was going to get a bike and just those kind of logistical things. Um, but probably wasn't till sometime in the race was at end of October, and it was sometime in September finally when everything was like finalized and good to go. So
Cool.
it was actually a little bit tougher than I thought, just kind of working through some of the AMA, FIM stuff, and you have to go get a doctor's checkup or whatever to get
It's crazy.
signed off, all that stuff. So, yeah, so
Who was your first point of contact? Like, was it somebody that you met online, or did you go through a local AMA, or where did you just start to try to asking if you could go?
well, originally I just looked, I think I just messaged the club and just like asked them if there was anybody that they knew of who rented bikes, because without a bike, there's no point in trying to do a race, right? So that was like step number one, is like finding a bike.
Yep.
And they didn't really know of anybody. Um, and I couldn't find anybody searching, so I finally just put it out on social media just to see if like anybody else knew. And it just so happens there's a local guy up in Canada who knew exactly where to rent a bike from, as he had looked into it before and was lined up to go and never ended up going.
Sweet. Yes.
So I,
God,
I got in
loved
touch
it.
with that guy and just saw if he had any bikes available, and he's kind of cut back his operation a little bit. He used to rent, I think, up to 15 or more bikes for the Gotland race, but
Wow.
I think he's pretty much getting to the point now where he doesn't want to do a lot of renting anymore. He runs like an adventure guiding business and takes people out for adventure rides and stuff. And he still runs a transportation business to get people's bikes over to the race. It's on an island, so there's logistics and getting on the ferry and all that type of stuff too. For even if you're in Europe or Sweden, Norway, whatever, I mean, there's still some hurdles to get your bike over to the race actually. So.
Wow.
But yeah, once he told me he'd have a bike for me, then it was kind of game on from there. As far as I just reached out to the AMA and found the right lady I needed to talk to kind of guide me through that, and went and got my medical checkup done, and got everything signed off on, submitted to the FIM, and they approved it, and that was kind of a little bit of a lengthier process, just waiting on people and following up to make sure it wasn't getting brushed aside and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
that everything
Wow.
turned out good, and didn't have any issues at all after that. So
So go through. I mean, congratulations for doing all that, and that's so hard just to navigate your way through something that nobody has done. And thank you to your friend in Canada that helped you find the bike and whatnot. But what was the entry fee, or did you have to have like a certain amount of races finished before you could even enter, or what was the qualifications to be a part of it?
I don't think no, there wasn't like any you basically just had to have an AMA membership here in the States, and then you had to have that medical deal and have your past that, and then I'm trying to think. I don't think beyond that there was any qualification, and then I just had to pick what class I wanted to do.
Okay.
And they call it I mean, they split it up a little different over there. There's not like A, B classes, C classes like there is here. It's basically just a exercise they call it, which would be like your amateur class.
Okay.
And then uh I don't even remember the name of the class I did. Or like a pro class.
Okay. All right.
Can't remember if it was expert or what it was, but yeah, so it's basically just two designations and um kind of the skill level I was at, I felt like I probably didn't belong in that exercise class where that's probably more of your hobby type riders, people
Right.
just going to race to have fun, this and that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was maybe a fish out of water a little bit in that top level class, but that's I'd rather be that way than sandbagging in a lower level class any
Oh
day.
man,
So
you're just all man. Damn it. I would have taken the exercise class for sure. I feel like, yeah, I'll come back and do the expert class some other day, right? Well, that's great. That's cool. And then how much was it to enter? Do you remember what the entry fee was for the event?
yeah, I think so. The entry fee, I want to say for the actual race, is it like 100 or 200 somewhere in there? I don't remember
Okay.
the exact with the Swedish conversion and all that.
Right.
And then I
Okay.
did have to pay like a fee to the AMA and stuff as well, which I think was another 250 to get
Oh.
that FIM license and
Oh
just
wow. Okay.
for their time to do all that as well.
Right.
So I want to say between everything, yeah, it was like probably 400 or 500 bucks just in entry fees,
Okay. All right. Yep.
if I
That
remember
sounds
right.
right. That's. I mean, I get it because I mean, if you're entering the expert class, be no different than if you're going to go to American Hill Climb. You're going to have to get your hard card and go through that, and you might have to pay for a concussion test and all that. And we're not going to be $500, but it's not free. But if you were going to do what was it, Logan, for the motocross for your hard card motocross, that's like five. It's 450
Yeah,
bucks
I'm
or
pretty
something,
sure
isn't it?
that's like 400 or 500 bucks. Yeah,
Right. So
something like that.
I totally get that. And then once you hooked up with the dude with the bike, had he helped other American riders then get a ride over there when once you spoke with them?
I actually don't know that I ever asked him that question.
Okay.
I know Josh Strang, he's a well-known guy who races in the US. He's actually from Australia, I believe.
Hmm.
But he actually won it back in like 2017 or 18.
Wow.
Um and I know that guy had some of his like memorabilia up in the shop, but I don't know if he actually got him a bike or not. But that
Okay.
would be the
Nice.
only one that I would maybe say he possibly did, but I don't think he's probably had very many Americans. I think it's probably been more European riders.
Sure.
I would guess. But
Did you see many other Americans there?
no, other than it was just myself and then two guys that ride for Motocross Action magazine. They test bikes for him and stuff. So I think we were the only three Americans over there. Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that one was Josh Mosman, right?
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
Moserman and then Josh Fout was the other one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw that they were going over there, and then um, I didn't catch up or see a whole lot, but I just remember seeing some of the content. But it was pretty cool to see those guys go over there and do it. Was there a reason that they went, or was it just that you know of, or did they just pick out the race and?
Yeah, I think so. I think like Josh Moserman's he's tied his like family's Swedish somehow, or he has
Uh,
maybe some family over there or something as
yep.
well. And I think that's maybe what kind of started it.
Hmm.
Um, and then I think just probably something cool for MXA to cover. Um, I mean, being it's the
Yeah,
largest enduro race
for
in the world
sure.
or wherever there. So
There's not a lot of things I've seen blow my mind more than the start of that race and the video that you guys had of it.
it's pretty sweet.
It
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And then of
Yeah.
course that first guy has to dump it in the
Yeah.
corner.
Yep.
Of
That's
course.
like, yeah, no, it was intense. That was honestly probably one of the coolest experiences about it. Like, it's honestly not as bad as some people think. Like being in that situation, you just gotta, I mean, pretty much just worry about you. Obviously, you gotta navigate around other people to just like worry about yourself and just not think too much about it. And of course, the one thing I didn't want to do was go down in the first turn, and I ended up doing that because I ran into another guy who went down in front of me, and it was the ground was pretty soft and muddy, obviously, and yeah, it was
Oh,
um, not ideal, but it could have been a lot worse too. So
so you just had to fight for it from the beginning, and the muddy
Yeah.
hands and muddy grips, and you're just fighting for it from the very beginning.
yeah, luckily it was enough like hard pack like grass that I didn't get too muddy right away. So it didn't like grips and all that were good, so it didn't really affect anything. I just
Okay.
honestly probably lost, I don't know, 50 positions or something, and had to just
Nice.
wait in line a little bit longer when it got all congested up after the
I
first
can
turn.
only
And
imagine how quickly you lose positions when you go down
hmm
and there's that many
yeah, you
people
can
around you.
lose 100 positions or gain 100 pretty quick in a start like
Yeah,
that. So
it's nuts.
I'm trying to think, is that video on the Jelinek brothers page, Jay?
there is one I posted on it. It was a different class, but yeah, I mean, same concept. And there's probably even more in the video I have of. I mean, you're talking like 3, 4, 500 people starting at once and all getting neck down into this like
Yeah.
I don't know 30-foot track after the first turn. So yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty
So,
insane.
and then like on top of it too, what I was gonna ask you, when we start off row by row, we're used to like one row and then a minute break. They do like all 500 at once, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
That's what I
rows of
thought.
100, and
Wow.
then and
Jeez.
like so our race was all the expert people plus there was like the junior class and then I think a couple others, and there was only 3 rows for ours versus some of the other like exercise classes that were I think 4 or 5 or more. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, you all start at the same time, so like um it's just it's kind of hard to I mean just an experience you don't get in the US for sure, but I
Uh-huh.
kind of want to start our local Harescramble series like that now, honestly,
Yeah.
but I don't think people would probably would enjoy it too much.
So
But
my my dream, and is to host a hair scramble at Bay City one time,
Oh,
and then
wow.
the start would be inverse. So you would start with all of like double A's usually in the front. They would be in the back, and then we'd line up row by row at the bottom of the hill, and you have to make it up. So
that
Yikes.
would
then
be pretty
all
sweet,
of the B
actually. Yeah, that would
classes
be
and
awesome.
the old guys would go first and all that, and then double A would have to pick their way through those guys to get into the woods.
Oh,
Like how
man.
freaking cool that everyone at a hair scramble would hate me, but man,
Yeah.
it sounds fun.
Oh, that'd be
That
sweet.
does, yeah. If you make that happen, I'll be there for sure.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, going
Hopefully.
on. If people that don't get on there and follow Jelinek Brothers on Instagram, and you got to go watch the video, your start, Jay. My favorite part is when you're going into that first turn, it looks like there's 10 shit spreaders in front of
Oh,
you,
I
and
know.
it's just like dollar bill size chunks of dirt flying everywhere in the air.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. It's like the sky's full of 3-inch long locusts. That was wild. Thanks for sharing so much when you and your
Hey,
wife were there too. I know we were following along when you guys were over there. You did an awesome job of kind of keeping everybody on your shoulders there. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to just show like just I mean just small town North Dakota kid just doing something different and
mhm.
kind of living a dream and just following a passion. So yeah.
That's cool. Back to when you found the bike. Do you mind me asking, what did he charge you for renting the bike? Do you remember what you had to pay?
Yeah, so it was about I think American like $1,200.
Okay. All right.
But that includes like so he set up the suspension for me. He had brand new tires.
Wow.
He gave me a couple of different options on like seats and foot pegs that I wanted,
Wow.
hand guards. And then he also transports the bike over there. It's like so the race is on an island, so it's a I think 3 or 4 hour ferry ride to get over there. So he takes care of all that, and then
Jeez.
you saw how muddy it was, and
Yep.
Right.
I think this was like the muddiest Gotland Grand National ever, which is pretty crazy to like think of that too,
Mhm.
that the year I go is the muddiest race ever. But
I've always said I was born with the worst timing, but I don't know. Jay, I'm starting to wonder. I
The
think you got
muddiest
me,
race in
buddy.
the world and peak hunting
I think
time.
I'm actually kind of glad, like that's kind of, I originally thought like when the rain was in the forecast that I didn't want it to rain, and I was like, crap, this is gonna suck. But now like living through that experience, and that's kind of like that race is known for being muddy, just not
Mhm.
that
Okay.
muddy. So like getting to experience that I think was pretty cool. And but yeah, he transports and all that stuff, and then like as muddy as the bike got, that thing was basically destroyed. So he had to tear that thing all the way down
Mhm.
and
Mm.
clean it up and wash it and stuff. And so
Wow.
honestly, if you consider all that, like $1,200 is not too bad. So
Yeah, I mean, the sticker shock, I'm sure, is a little bit, but when you start talking about foot peg and handlebar options and tires and handguards, it's like that blows through a few $100 quick. A ferry ride blows through that. So it's like you probably really didn't make much, if any, money on it by the
no,
time
like
it's
it,
all said and
yeah.
done.
I mean, just the time spent cleaning that thing up and
Yeah.
getting it ready, like it was more than fair, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
like you said, the sticker shock right away. I was like, oh crap, that's a lot, but it's like pretty much my only option if we're gonna get it done. And I'm
Yep.
fortunate that like we're in the financial position to be able to make it work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what made it like extra special to go and do it too, is because like nothing against like the MXA guys, but like they're being given bikes from a
Yeah.
team over there, and like I'm sure a lot of their expenses were paid from the magazine to go over there, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we 100% paid our own way. Like no, I'm not gonna say like no sponsors, because obviously there's companies that help, and Full Throttle's always treats me well and things like
Mhm.
that. And but it's like still everything was like out of pocket, and it's, I mean, nothing really handed to us, so it made it
Yeah.
that much cooler to make it happen as well.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure.
Logan, we need a soundbite. Luke's got to get on it where it goes, America, America, yeah, America. That's American dream right there, dude. I mean,
Pretty
hell
much.
yeah, you just summed it up. It's like
Yeah.
that's what if you work hard enough, if you try hard enough, you can do what you want to do. And you're telling people that right now. How cool is that you just had this thought for a couple of years, and I had no idea it was on a freaking island. That just even it's like I'm gonna go to Sweden and then take a 3-hour boat ride to a freaking island and race dirt bikes. What? I mean, that is cool as hell. And you did it. I just think that's so cool with
Mhm.
determination, what's possible. I mean, man, what an unbelievable experience. It's so cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's like pretty unreal, like to get on that boat and watch all these like vans and bike rigs like pulling on this boat with their bikes and stuff, and then riding the ferry over there, and it's like all these dirt bike people coming together, and it's the largest enduro race in the world. And what they call an enduro over there is basically what we call a Harescramble or cross country over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Our form of enduro is different in the United States than what they call enduro in Europe. So yeah, I think there was like over 3,500 participants total. So it's like all those
Wow.
people are
Whew.
getting on that ferry and taking the ride over there, and it's like
That's
it's pretty
cool.
crazy, the atmosphere and all that stuff. So they're pretty hardcore over there for sure.
Mhm.
Mm, unreal. Uh, would you go do it again?
Yeah, I 100% would do it again. I don't know that I ever will. But yeah, it was a good enough experience for sure that if I had my arm twisted, I definitely would do it. And I was just happy to finish, like considering the
Mhm.
conditions and everything. I definitely could have pushed a little bit more than I did, but just knowing like everything that went into it, like the last thing I wanted to do was wad myself up and not be able to finish, or wreck the bike and not be able to finish.
Right.
So probably played it a little bit safer than I should, but like if I was to go back again, I'd probably definitely hang it out a little bit more. Definitely some people would go flying by me in the mud, but then they'd be wadded up like in a mud hole or something like 2 minutes later. So I was like, just try to ride consistent and
Yep.
keep chugging forward really. So,
Are
and
you
not having a
okay?
lot of,
Has that ever? Has
not
that
having a
ever?
lot of mud riding experience, it was pretty tough too. So
Can you take your mask off now? I don't know if I've ever seen the 390 with that mantra on a dirt bike before. What happened to you? What is it? Is this old age or something, Jay? What's going on?
unfortunately, I've been thinking about that. I think it is old age, because I think I ride maybe a little bit more conservative at times than I used to or have been known to. So I think that's gonna be one of my goals, is to bring the tenacity back a little bit and just say fuck it and
Jesus.
send it, see what happens. So
No, I think you're right. You know what? I think 90% of the 390 is all the world can handle. All right. If you start giving us the 100 again all the time, we can't handle it, Jay. All right. I mean, we were there. We saw you win the King of the Hill at Bay City. All right. We know what happens when the beast comes out.
and I wadded it up. That was a problem. I couldn't handle it either. So
The scary part is he's saying that he's eased back a little bit the last couple of years, and
Right.
if he turns it back up, it's going to be extra.
That's what I'm saying. We
Extra
can't handle
good.
it, Jay. I think you're
No.
fine at 90%.
I don't know. We'll see. I still got. I don't know. I just still feel like I got my best years ahead of me racing.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
I'm
Good
I'm
answer.
trying not to like the old age. Not that I'm not old. I'm 35, but like I want to be that 60-year-old who's throwing down against like the teenagers and young 20-year-olds in the
Right.
Heck
in
yeah.
hare scrambles. So
That's what's
my goal.
awesome about dirt bikes. I think as long as you're motivated, you can continue to get better. And what we do, you can't go out and do 30-minute motos at pro level when you're 50. Obviously, that's just physically not possible. But in hill climbing, especially, I mean, you can continually get better if you have the motivation to. I mean, who knows how long it could go? I mean, I feel like, watching Logan's dad ride in his 60s, he's still an unbelievable rider. And if he had the motivation, he could do everything that he's ever done. He just chooses to kind of give us 75% of what he used to be. That's his choice at that point. And I think that's the hard part about, as you've had some bad experiences when you get older, not going 100%. I think that's what kind of father time does a little bit to all of us. I mean, even Logan in his prime probably hasn't given us 100% all the time because he's had some of those demons in your mind, right, Logan?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens. But that keeps us riding longer. It's the ones that never turn it off that we don't see anymore. So you got to know what your limit is, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's I mean, it doesn't do you any good to be laying in a hospital bed either. So
Right.
that's obviously what everybody's got to deal with, but you can't think about that too much either, because then that'll affect your riding as well. So it's
I'm a firm believer, and I've told Joel my stories on this, that if you just sit and think about how I'm going to ride dirt bike to not get hurt, you're going to that's all you need to make yourself get hurt. I've seen so many people whose only goal is to ride to not get hurt, and then they just do the dumbest things and crash in the weirdest ways because you're just trying to think too much and make dumb choices.
I think what I should do is just like all that shit we were talking about at the beginning of the show, I should just give that up and just focus on racing, and might be able to make something of it.
I think you are making a bunch of it. I think you're just fine multitasking. No worries.
I've thought about it many times, but I don't know if I truly can or not. It's a battle to decide which one to.
It's really
to
nice
give more
have.
time, but yeah, I definitely want to continue staying dedicated to racing and trying to progress, no matter if I'm 35 or not. The goal is to get faster still. So
it's really nice to have something to divert your energy to outside of the same thing all the time too. Otherwise, it's just you get burnt out or too singularly focused, and stuff just goes bad, or you think too much about one thing that gets you down the wrong path.
I do actually hear that from quite a few people that don't really have any other hobbies outside of racing. They do say that they wish they had something else, or they tell me that it's not necessarily a bad thing, because like, yeah, you said you just having one thing would I don't know, it'd be tough not to get burnt out. And even having two things, like I almost kind of get burnt out on one and then kind of gravitate towards the other, and I get burnt out again on that. So it's like,
exactly,
at least I have something to flip flop. But I mean, if you add up all the time, like I dedicated hunting this fall, if I would have dedicated that into racing, I could make a hell of a lot of progress too, because that was a lot of hours. But who knows? I guess.
I remember like Dungy when they were interviewing him one time, growing up in Minnesota and then having to race against all the warm weather kids and everything. And he even said like, well, we couldn't ride as much in the winter, and almost gave you a chance to remember how much you love it and get, kind of, and
Yep.
he wasn't 12 and burnt out, like he still had that fire in him, where a lot of those kids, they went so hard when they were young that it was a job by that point, where for him it was still fun. And, everybody's different, but that kind of made sense to me. Like, man, it'd be tough when you were a kid to go that hard for, 6 years and then still have that same zest for it. That's gotta be tough,
You
For
know,
sure. And I think that's kind of why I like gravitate towards like all disciplines, is just to keep it fresh too. Like
yep.
I want to ride everything. I'll ride moto, Harescramble, hard enduro, hill climb, snow bikes, like whatever, like just keep it fresh. And I there's a lot of people obviously that do it, but like people that just spin laps on a motor track all the time. Like I
Yep.
love doing that from time to time, or like even go in spurts where that's all I want to do, but just to like never get outside of that and like hit some single track or go climb some hills or something. I don't know how they do that year after year after year.
The thing that I wish is that I was just strong enough where I could just uproot myself and just put myself somewhere else. Cause I watch the Whitlocks and they hunt, they golf, they ride dirt bikes, and sometimes they do all three in the same day. Or they might be on their dirt bikes shed hunting or riding to go golfing. And I'm like, what kind of crazy heaven is this place? And it's called Utah. And they have everything there in Utah. I mean, they can do basically whatever they want. And it's man, it's just that's what's hard about Instagram, is sometimes it makes you feel like you're always missing out.
Jay, like what you're saying with doing like the multiple disciplines, like for me, it's so much fun because I've got my 350 and my 300. I think it's like what you're saying, or to agree with it. I get burnt out of just pounding as many laps as fast as I can, and then like, you know what, I'm just gonna get on my 300 and go 5 miles an hour and push my bike up a hill and roll it back down the hill and try to go up this stupid hill climb 15 times. And it's like all of a sudden you've burned an hour and a half on the bike, and it's like the most fun that you've had in months. It's so nice to not be
Yeah.
so focused. Like I don't know how people can just ride the same four moto tracks all year long,
Right.
weekend after weekend.
For
It
sure.
just I'd be fried so fast doing that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there for sure. Circle back. Another thing I just want to talk to you on traveling to Sweden, and man, the pictures that you and your wife have shared, because on the multiple trips, I believe, is that where you got this?
Yeah, that's actually where I got my 390 tattoo on my hand, was in Sweden. So
So
Nice.
cool.
I'm kind of like I'm obviously into tattoos and stuff, and kind of made it my goal to now like any like new country or whatever we go to, I'll probably get a different tattoo or even different states and stuff. I think that would just be kind of something cool that probably not a lot of people do. So
And the pictures are just spectacular. I mean, it's unbelievable, the landscape there. And even in the green room, Logan was saying how, man, that's on the bucket list for him. And I mean, I just hope, there's so many places I want to go, but is it a tough place to travel to? Like, do you guys speak the language, or do you need to, or how has it been when you guys have been traveling, you and your wife over there?
yeah, it's not really too bad. I mean, the plane ride's a little bit long, obviously, to get over to Europe, but like as far as when you're there, majority of we don't really speak any Swedish. Majority of Swedish people know English. There's some that don't. Most of the like signage and stuff, there's kind of translated in English as well as alongside the Swedish stuff. So, I mean, we can definitely navigate ourselves around and communicate with people without being able to speak Swedish at all. And I think that'd probably go for like Norway as well, for sure, and maybe a few other countries over there too. There's
Okay.
some that don't speak a lot of English, but yeah, it's not too tough, and especially like the people that we mostly had to communicate with at the race and stuff. They all spoke English, and thank God they did, because if they wouldn't have, like, that would have been pretty tough. And some of the things like with the race and like the announcer and stuff, and like they're rattling all this off in Swedish, but then they'd say certain parts in English that they
Oh,
needed to
wow.
as well, because
Cool.
it's, I mean, the biggest race in the world, so it's like there's people from all over Europe, not just Sweden too, that race it. So it's like
Cool.
they almost have to have like a universal language
Okay.
to a certain
Nice.
extent, I guess. But
Cool. Yeah.
um
There's a guy on Channel 2. I don't know if he's local or if he's weird, but it's Rick Steves, and he travels all over. If you watch Channel 2, he's got like travel documents. And it was really cool. The one time, I've said this on here before, but when he was saying, he's like, when you're traveling, he's like, as an American, we have like one of the universal tools to communication. He's like, when you're in the French Alps and there's someone from Finland that meets somebody from Greece, well, the Greek people don't speak Finnish and the Finland guy doesn't speak Greek, but they both speak a little English. And he's like, that's what's kind of nice about having our dialect is just about everybody has a little bit of English. And the little bit I've traveled, you've noticed that just about everybody has a little bit in them. So that's kind of nice for traveling that way, you know?
Definitely. And Britta's cousin that lives over there, Carla, and then she has a daughter, Elsie. So she speaks Swedish and English. And
Wow.
yeah, for being a little girl, she can always translate and do things when she was with us as well. So
Nice. Awesome.
she was our little tour guide and translator if needed. So
Very good. Very good. What
yeah.
town did you guys fly into then in Sweden?
So we went through what is Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam to Stockholm is
Okay,
where
to
we flew
Stockholm.
into.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Stockholm's like I mean, that's really the only place we've ever gone when we've been there is, I mean,
Okay.
other places, but like mostly centered around Stockholm. So
Okay. All right.
on the
Cool.
outskirts and different islands and things, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now, big question: what's the coffee situation like in Sweden? Is it shit? Is it good? Like, what are we talking for coffee in Sweden?
Very good, I would say. So like it's actually the term over there, it's called fika, which is one of the Swedish words I know, but it's like basically a coffee slash like breakfast, not breakfast, but like just kind of like a midday break or whatever, where you just sit
Okay.
down, have some coffee and some pastries or dessert, stuff like that, and just like
Nice.
um yeah, so they call that fika over there. That's like kind of big in their culture. So they
Okay.
take their coffee pretty seriously. Yeah.
Nice. The food. Did you have lefse? Did you have lutefisk? Was there anything that we even think of as Scandinavian foods that was even on the menu over there?
Actually, like, so the lefse thing, when we were over there for Christmas, a couple years ago, we were in Norway and Sweden. It was hard to come by like authentic, like lefse. I just think like it's more like in our culture over here is
Right.
like thinking that's what they eat over there, but like I think that was like for people who weren't as financially well off back in the day and stuff too. So it was like
Okay.
they ate what they had, and they maybe don't have it as much anymore. And there's places you could get it, but it wasn't easy to find.
Okay.
But yeah, like Swedish meatballs definitely over there is like my
Okay.
go-to.
All right.
You really can't go wrong with that. They eat lingonberries. It's like
Ooh,
kind of these smaller berries, similar to like cranberries. They
yep.
eat that with like a lot of their meals.
Cool.
Um, what else? There's a dish that um David, which is Carla's husband over there, um, he cooks us a dish called renskav, and that's like reindeer creamy gravy with like potato dish
Oh,
too. That is really
nice.
tasty.
How
So
the hell
yeah,
are those people all so healthy? I mean, they eat gravy on everything, and every time you see a picture, they're just like Greek. You know, they don't look like there's any fat people over there. It's crazy.
yeah. I don't know. I think I mean, probably a combination of like not all the garbage in the food that they do eat, and then
Yep.
like you'll see people, they're not scared to like get a do some exercise or like walk and do some physical stuff
Right.
versus here like everybody wants to take an escalator or park the closest to the door and not get any steps and stuff in. So yeah, I think
Right.
it's a combination probably that.
Was there an IKEA? Was it like a Dollar General? Is there like an IKEA in every town that you drove through? Is that like their Dollar General over there, or did you see any IKEAs in Sweden?
Yeah, there definitely is some, but yeah, no, it's not like they're not on every corner by any means. So
Okay. I wondered, like every little Swedish town, like as you're going out, they got the little creepy Dollar General IKEA on your way out town or something. I didn't know. So, all right. Good to
not
know.
quite, no.
Not quite. We ain't there yet. Okay. So it sounds like You would say for a normal traveler, not that difficult traveling to Sweden, or is there anything that you'd recommend?
Um, Not really. I think like, and I say this now because I've done it a few times, and like I'm a little bit more seasoned than somebody would be because traveling with Britta and stuff. And but I mean, like I said, we can navigate around and communicate with pretty much anybody. So I really think like if anybody wanted to go over there, you'd be able to figure it out.
Cool. I love
Yeah.
in the green room, we were talking a little bit about this, and you said if it wasn't for your wife, you would never leave the county that you live in. And then on the show, you'd said that your wife would live in Sweden if it wasn't for you. You guys are a perfect couple because you're going to balance each other out, right? That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure. And one day we might end up in Utah. Who knows? So
Oh, why? I can't disagree. I tell you what, let's take a quick break here. I got to hit the can, but there's a couple things I want to touch back after the break. You got a freaking camper last year that I've been dreaming about forever. We got to talk about that camper that you guys bought. It's sick. And then we talked about it, horsepower season. We got to see if there's anything new for Team Jelinek Brothers coming up. And I think we might have some news here. And then let's tap on the member. Are you on the council? Are you president, vice president, any of that of Eagle Ridge, or where are you at right now?
no, I used to be vice president. I stepped down last year. Trying to step back a little bit, get more people involved. So I'm
Perfect.
like I'm just a club member.
You're
So
just okay, great. Hey, we'll see what a man of the people. We'll see what the man of the people, if anything's going on in the club. And then caught in your chain, we have one via proxy. A fan listener wrote to me on Insta, and I gotta put one in. So all of that coming up. Hang through, listen to our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Woo! Oh, ATG Design, the best. ATG Design hooking up my boy Kevin out in Cali, his three boys. Dalton, Colton, and Remy, they all got little bikes. They're all getting fully kitted up. Luke's getting them all set up. Going to be epic. Thank you, ATG Design. Can't wait to see those little rippers on their full kits. But we mentioned
also may
it.
or may not have seen a U.S. hill climbing kit go out the door on Sunday.
Nice, awesome.
That may or may not have
Great.
been for Husqvarna of some sort.
Ooh, okay, all right.
So he is doing something and working down there.
Nice. Okay.
So it's
all right.
good to know.
Good. Well, you can't hear anything because he actually lubricated the slide on his printer, so nobody knows when he's actually printing. But we can see it every now and then. When
he sure claims to work a lot, but we're not sure if he actually does. But he
does. Yeah, he does work a lot. Yeah. No. We're trying to go without Luke tonight. Luke's out on assignment for a media stash, probably making somebody's dream come true as normal. So we'll be on your TV in the next few months, I'm sure, for what he's recording right now. So I miss you, Luke, and hope the best on your travels.
How much does he pay you guys for that ad spot?
Not enough.
It's obscene.
I got my eye on a printer. I might have to see if I might have to outbid him.
I mean, you should hear the rough draft of the off-graphic commercial. It's going to be Randy the Macho Man Savage that brings us into the commercial.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah, it sounds epic.
It would actually be pretty great to have you the title sponsor of our podcast while he's in the print room. The competition just chopping him at the knees. If I was smart enough, I would make a commercial and upload it to our podcast without him telling and make a new thumbnail and everything.
I just got a gift from one of my hunting buddies tonight, and it's the president, and he's got him saying all this stuff like you must be able to like AI in Donald Trump's voice or whatever. And I'm like, that's a little freaky. Like he's talking about don't be saying this and you're not going out there shooting any coyotes. And he's basically, I was like, this is a little freaky here. So we could do something. We got to figure it out.
I know that would be well worth any effort.
Yeah, no. But back to our guest. So you and your wife, you had was it the land yacht? What was it? Your camper before this? What was it you guys had?
Yeah, the way we started out with the camper was a 98 land yacht, which is like an Airstream 454 big block engine, gas guzzler.
Yeah.
More problems than I could keep up with. I didn't have time for that. It was good. It got us across the country and up into Canada a few times and stuff, but it was time to upgrade this year, and yeah, we went and got a new rig. So
what did you get?
Oh, go ahead, Logan, it's actually really funny because the first few times that I saw Britta call it the land yacht, I thought that was just like a nickname you guys made. I didn't know it was actually named the land yacht until I saw.
Oh yeah, it was a land yacht. It was appropriately named for sure.
Exactly. Like it was all too fitting, and then it was even more fitting when I saw the signage on it that said it was actually a land yacht.
It was actually sweet though, because like the inside was really well taken care of, and it was cool. All original, and like they had just taken the plastic off the seats like not long before we got it. It only had like 40-some thousand miles on it.
Really?
And it was a 98, but then like you're still dealing with something that's from 98, and whether it has a lot of miles or not, like there was just constant issues, it seemed like, with something. So yeah.
But that's how it goes. You don't just go buy your dream camper right away. You got to have the one that lets you know what you do and don't want, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So what did you guys get this year now? What are the details on it?
We got a Winnebago View. It's like a 25-foot RV. It's basically it's a Sprinter chassis, and then it's just got the living quarters and everything on top. So
you got a diesel then? Is this a diesel?
It is a diesel, yeah. So a 6-in motor that like Logan's got in his van. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 6-cylinder. Yep. Okay, so how do you guys like it? Going from the land yacht to this, how do you guys like it?
Definitely a good upgrade. It took us a few trips to like get all the kinks ironed out to like where we had it figured out, which I think is pretty typical. It has a few things like now we've learned maybe what to look for if we ever move on, but we're probably going to keep this one for quite a while for sure. So, but yeah, like the water tank is smaller than we would like, but that's kind of typical with that style of RV. It has a propane generator, which we realized sucks.
Why does it suck? I guess, is it loud or what?
It's not necessarily that it's propane. It just doesn't have a big enough propane tank, in my opinion. So like, it'd be much better off having a diesel generator, so it could run off like the same tank that the engine does or something, versus to having run off that propane. And then if we run the generator a lot on propane, then we don't have a lot of propane if it's like cold out, if say 30-40 degrees, to run the heater and that sort of thing. So we almost gotta plan far ahead for that, or bring an extra generator along just to be able to run like the heater and electronics and stuff. So yeah, it's few little things like that are pretty minor, but look, kind of headaches that sucks to have to worry about too. And you start talking the money you're spending on those things too. But I mean, it could be worse. So
no, well, thank you for sharing, because I mean my wife and I are new camper people. We just got that little toy hauler or whatever, but we freaking love it. But yeah, there's like a few things you wish were different, but I would not have thought of that, like with the propane and the generator. Thank you for sharing that. But when I see the View or like your style camper go by, I'm just like on the freeway, I'm like, that's freaking freedom, right? I mean, that is just like, those things are just meant to go coast to coast, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's like driving that versus driving the land yacht too is a world of difference. The land yacht was like, if it was windy, it was intense. Like you had to have both hands on the wheel and like not lose focus at all. Otherwise you're going in the ditch and probably gonna roll it or something. But like this one cuts the wind so much better, and it still gets pulled around a little bit, but it's like, it's just like driving anything else almost.
Okay.
It's really not
Wait,
bad at
does
all.
this have?
So
This is gonna be. You might punch your computer, but does it have crosswind assist?
it does, but usually, so that's another thing. Like it
Oh,
throws like these warning
that
lights and stuff, and like turns the shit off. And I don't know if there was something wrong with it or what, but I think it's just like when it's pushing us around with the wind, it just screws up all the sensors and
Joel's
stuff.
just trying to get me worked up right now. I'm
I
not
am.
taking the bait.
I don't feel alone now because I know exactly that you're probably dealing with the same exact thing. So
Yeah,
Signing
Logan's he's
off.
gone. Yeah, he's gone. Nice knowing you guys. Yeah, crosswind assist is probably besides the FedEx guy whipping shitties in Logan's yard. That's probably one of his top 5 gets you hot, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I don't even know where to start. We don't have the time.
I wonder.
But you found a solution,
Not
didn't you?
to say, like, I wonder if ours is a little bit worse just because it catches maybe a little bit more wind with its size than yours would, but maybe it could go the
Probably.
other way too, I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much
I
every
guess it
time it's windy,
depends.
does the same thing.
You're right. It probably a lot of it depends on how much weight that like your camper body adds to it compared to just that empty shell of my
True, yeah.
van. But all I know is mine's not pleasant when the crosswind assist turns on.
Sucks. It's awful.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Logan found a thing. You plug it into like your map reader,
Yeah, it's
right? Is
basically
that where you
just like a
plug that?
programmer that you can plug in and it deletes the crosswind assist from the computer. So I haven't actually uploaded it yet, but I've got the programmer in my shop ready to do it.
So I think actually our issue might be a little bit different because ours, like, it's not any worse to drive. It just like somehow the sensors, it must not be like a crosswind assist because the sensors just cause something like they just throw a fault, like they're not working properly or something, and it basically just disables the system, I think. So we just can't like use cruise during that. Otherwise, that's like the only negative, honestly,
Oh,
with ours.
yeah,
So
that's different, but I have similar issues with mine too, and it
okay,
pisses me off just as much.
yeah,
So
it's
like
annoying
my
not to be able to
I,
use cruise on like a long trip on
no,
interstate and stuff.
see,
For
you
sure.
want to see now we started it, so we can't. Joel started
yeah.
this, but
This is my
the
fault. I'm
most
sorry. I'm
screwed up
sorry,
thing you've ever
listeners.
seen is that in my Sprinter, if you were using cruise and you didn't catch up to or pass or see another car on the road for like a certain amount of time, it would automatically assume something was wrong with the radar system and then shut your cruise off until you followed a car for like 10 minutes. So my first trip, we're in bumfuck Nebraska, going to California, and my cruise just quits working for like hours
What the hell?
because there's no vehicles. And if you
The
do
hell?
see one, it's like you catch up to a semi that's going 65 when we're going 80, or there's a car going 95 when we're going 80. So you only see them for like a minute, and it isn't long enough for it to register that the radar is actually working. So you just don't
Oh,
get to use cruise for hours through the middle of
Wow.
Nebraska
yeah.
at night.
I swear though, when the crosswind assist hits up, it flashes the icon and it like turns the wheel and hits the brake.
Yeah, it
It's
slams the
awful.
brakes and then turns the wheel into the wind. And it's like, I'm not kidding you, it's almost hard enough where you're going to bounce your head off the window or the
Yeah.
Wow.
windshield, depending. It's crazy.
Britta's car, she got an Audi here a couple years ago, and
Mhm.
we just drove it in some like snowy roads for the first time, and it was kind of like the same thing you're describing, where it like almost jerks you around based on the sensors and stuff. But it is not that bad where like you're gonna hit your head on the window. So yeah, it'll be pretty miserable for sure.
It's, I just like, I've come to the conclusion that I don't think I'll ever be able to buy another new vehicle. I don't know what I'm going to do when my Civic shits out, but I'm going to have to buy like a 2011 and just completely rebuild it from the ground up because I have no patience for all the crappy technology that they put into cars. Even like tonight I'm driving and they have auto dimming brights, and I'm just driving and my brights, there's a freeway next to me, but it's like a half mile away, and they just shut off and turn on and shut up and turn on and shut up and turn. I'm like, what the and you can't even turn that shit off. It's insane.
Right. Yeah. It's
Or you get that adaptive cruise control and there's a car a half mile ahead of you and it decides to slam the brakes on and put your head through the windshield because there's
they need to get rid of an active cruise.
all
cruise
that
control.
shit.
I
You
hate
need
that
to have
shit.
an option when you turn your car on to just go solo and go into driver mode.
Like old school mode or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some just
Acoustic.
Yeah. I want them to go back to have the dimmer on the floor. Did you guys ever get the chance to drive an old
Mm-mm.
truck where the dimmer was on the floor? Oh, that was
I
the
don't know if I've
shit.
driven one. I've seen that though. Yeah.
I can see that
Oh,
being
it's the
nice.
best. Oh, super
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. They've went
Yeah.
backwards. So with the
Anyways,
camper, the Sprinter style, I'm curious, like obviously I know it changes, but what were you guys expecting for mileage? Did you check it or did you notice?
Yeah. So some of the research I was doing, people were talking about getting like 13, 14, 15, just driving it by itself. That obviously all depends on how strong the wind is,
hmm
up and down hills, things like that. And it seems like whenever we go, it's always windy. I don't know,
always
like no matter what, there's always
headwind both ways.
pretty much. It seems like that. So, um, we've only probably without pulling anything, seems like we average maybe around that 12-ish, sometimes up to 13, down to 11, like in that range. But talking with Logan before too, I've never actually manually checked that. I've kind of just gone off of what the
Oh,
screen
you'll
says.
be way happier when you manually check it.
And he says that
Yeah.
he gets better when he manually checks it versus what his screen says. So I'm hoping that's the case with us too. But
Yeah.
then pulling, I've never pulled anything real big or long with it, like through the mountains or anything, but just here locally, on like a 2-3 hour road trip. It didn't really lose a lot of mileage.
hmm
We're probably getting between that 9 to 11. It seemed like pulling
Oh,
like the Dakota
awesome.
Scramble Series 20, I think it's like a 24-foot trailer. So
Oh, hell
yeah.
yeah. That's a big trailer. Oh, I mean, if you can get empty, 12 miles to the gallon, that's for a camper. That's awesome, right? Because I imagine your land yacht was more like in the 7, right? I mean, that
Yeah,
that thing was probably
I think
guzzling, right?
6 to 8, you're right there. Yeah, with gas, that
Yeah,
was and even worse, I mean, if it was really windy too. So
And
right.
Joel, what did we get when we took the van and your trailer to Sunnyside? We were like 11, 12 all the way until we got to like
Yep.
Bismarck when the wind was pointed directly at us going 25 miles an hour,
Yep. Yeah, and that was just a little 7 by
hmm
12 single axle.
which is pretty
But I mean, it
impressive.
was fine. The mountains, it didn't love it in the mountains, but I mean, that's just the way it is. But we don't usually drive there that much in the mountains, but I'm impressed with those vans, boy.
hmm
I mean, they are the way to travel. And I mean, the one thing that those vans have that just nothing else is they will just go forever. Like they will outlast their body, like you talk to enough people that have had those Sprinter vans and you keep clean oil in them, keep clean fluids in them, and they just run and run. We have them for work, and service tech was like, "Oh, you should see when the FedEx dudes come in here. They were just here 999 on all the odometers. They go down the road like they don't even care. They got freaking million miles on them. It's like that's what I like about those little diesels. Is yeah, there's some things you don't love about them, but man, they will just go and go and go. It's just nothing better than a diesel for traveling.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, we haven't had any mechanical issues. Any issues we've had have been on the like camper side of things. And it's really we haven't had any
Yeah,
there either, but just a few things we've had to figure out is still kind of newbies at the whole thing. But yeah, they're
right.
a little gutless. Like when you're talking
Oh
about up and
yeah,
down hills in the mountains. I mean,
yeah,
you'll try to pull 75, 80 or whatever, and you'll be down to 65, 60, going up some of the hills
yeah,
and stuff like that. And but
right,
I mean, just got to plan further ahead and just not be in too much of a hurry
right,
to get where you're going.
You can't expect to go anywhere
right,
real fast, but they do get there and they are comfortable.
Right.
right.
But that was the biggest
I
shock for me leaving my EcoBoost. That thing is it's just a slow turd because of the EcoBoost rib.
yeah, oh yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. You got two turbos in the EcoBoost.
hmm
Yeah. I remember when we were looking for a camper, I called Dave Perigo because he's had a bunch of campers, all different styles or whatever. And I was like, I didn't know, should I just get a cheap one to get into it or try to find a nice one? Because he's got that Logan coach now, and them things are
hmm
super nice. And Dave's like, they're all shit. He's like, every time you stop, you're going to be putting something back or something's going to come loose. He's like, that's just having a camper. He's like, don't get worked up about it. He's like, they're just not meant to travel thousands of miles. And that helped me just know that, it's like, it's not just me. It's like you're going down the road, those things are just shaking. Most people that buy like a camper, they're going 35 minutes from their home to the campground or whatever, where all of us are leaving work Thursday and we got to race Saturday morning in California. It's like, we're putting fuel or seed pods in the back of the truck for fuel reservoirs, right, Jay?
Yeah, and it always seems like there's some shitty back road you got to drive down to get to the race and stuff. And we've lost like multiple pieces of plastic off the side just from the wind and things as well. And nothing is cheap
Right.
to fix as far as that goes either, unfortunately. So like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of maintenance cost and stuff as well. But I mean,
Right.
we're still planning to keep it, so it's definitely still worth it for sure.
Is there anything worse than when you're driving something like that and you leave and you just hear the big thud behind you and you got to just cross your fingers that it wasn't something important?
Yeah, we've had that a few times. It's like, what was that? It's like, I don't know, but it's still driving. We're gonna keep going. So the one time it was a flat tire,
Ooh.
because we had duals on the back or whatever, and it was the
Yep.
inside one, and just
Oh,
kept
shit.
going. And
Mm-hmm.
then I realized later because we like heard a whatever on underneath, and like, what the hell was that? And like, I don't know. Everything seems good, so kept going. But then, yeah, I figured out it was a flat next time we stopped. So
Oh, shoot. That can't be fun changing dualies on the side of the road. That's gotta be not fun.
no, but I didn't change it on the side of the road because I think it was actually on the way home from it was a local race, so it was at our house when we stopped. So then I just
Oh, okay,
found a
good.
tire shop to take it to, and
Man.
they do that shit more, and they're better equipped to do it. So, but yeah, to
Right.
pull out the outside dual and stuff, I just didn't want to mess with it.
Right. Well, cool. Well, congratulations on the freedom on having that camper, and thank you for the insight because I'm always learning, always want to know, and I've always loved those campers. I've always wanted one. I just think they're so freaking badass, but not quite in that part of life for me, right? Quite yet, but someday, maybe someday. But thank you. But also, we were talking in the green room, and it's horsepower season, and you were kind of saying you might be adding to the stable here. What you got going on there?
Yeah, so been diehard Honda, diehard 4-cylinder for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, started to transition over to the European KTM gas side.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Getting bikes from Full Throttle and Bismarck. Should have been doing that a lot
Yep.
sooner, but yeah,
Yes.
just kind of was always loyal to Honda. That's what we always grew up on. But now they can eat shit because they don't make a two-stroke. So took me
There we go.
too long to realize that. But yeah, no. So then to go along with that, got my first taste. My younger brother, we bought a twin Aprilia last year. And
Yep.
then got a taste of that at the Valley City Hillclimb. Came up just short of getting the fast time day on that. Just felt
Wow.
comfortable on it compared to like 4-cylinder. It
Right.
just felt, I don't know, like I've never had a trouble with not having enough power on the 4-cylinder, but riding that twin, I
Right.
was like, I almost wanted it to be a little faster than it was.
Yeah.
It's just so much smoother and easier to ride. And then, so that kind of gave me the kick to get a hold of Matt Musgrove and tell him I wanted him to build me an 1190 like Tristan's basically. So
Yes.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
That's
I mean,
solid.
you're gonna freaking love it,
Yeah,
Jay.
it's
That's
gonna
so
be sweet.
cool.
yeah, so it's in the works now. I mean, they got the motor, and I think Matt is going to be starting work on the chassis here in the not too far future. And Dan's
Nice.
already got the front end of the suspension done. Dan the man. So it's in the
Nice.
works, and hoping to have it for 2026.
Nice. And Matt is
Sweet.
just
Oh, that's
an
awesome.
It's going to look
unbelievable
like a
fabricator, too.
gas.
Sweet.
I wasn't quite sure what the right thing to do there was because I do believe in the matching plastics and motors and stuff. But like with the KTM gas Husky thing, it's kind of one and the same, honestly.
No, you're going to the back of the pits.
I even Mac told me it was okay, and he's like the
Damn it.
so, but he said they do that in some other forms of racing where they'll put I don't know if it's
Yeah.
in
MotoGP.
I can't remember what he said, but he said even the factory do that with like the KTM motors and gas plastics and stuff. So he seemed to think it was okay, so that's the route we're going since I already have the gas 450 and 300. So
Sweet. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
that's
Oh,
cool.
how exciting. You're going to love it, man. It's going to re-energize you for that open class. I can't wait to see you ride it.
Yeah, and I also like those young guys coming up like Dexter and Tegan, and definitely not ready to start losing those guys
No,
too
not
often
yet.
yet. So
No.
I felt like I needed some not that I couldn't get the job done, the equipment I had, but I think it was time to make sure we're even on the equipment side, and then make it come down to the rider. So
You better, while you're doing this, just go all in. You're just lift up the belt loops, pull up and jump right in. Call Billy Goat, get a chain wheel made and a fender. So you got that. So you can just have the whole package when it shows up.
I don't know, like I don't think I'm a metal guy. I don't think I think just a
yes,
knobby
you
and
are. Just,
paddle
I'm
and
gonna
I'm
stop
good.
you.
I don't know.
No, you're wrong. Jay, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You're a metal guy. You just get a chain wheel and just jump in. You're going to have more fun than everybody else. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's awesome, but yeah, I don't know. I just like to keep things simple, I guess. But
Keep it simple.
same
That's the
thing with
way.
like fuels. Like I'm sure a nitro bike is great for some people, but would I ride one? Sure, but I have no desire to like ever go down that road to have something like that myself. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna say metal will never happen. I know, like I think Lee's got some bolted paddles and things like that, and I'm not gonna say never, but not as of right now.
I never thought I would ride a chain wheel. And, I haven't rode everything or not even close. But the one thing I'll say is even like when it's really sticky and you got to paddle, like how direct they are, and you got to be so quick with the clutch. Like with the chain wheel, what's kind of crazy is when you hit it, it's not instant. It like tears in. So for me being older, I loved it so much because I can be a little lazy on the clutch and still get that acceleration I want. Or like when it's really bitey with the paddle, like you got to be on the clutch and then let it back out to kind of get that correct acceleration. Where with the chain, like you can just hit it and it'll get spinning, and you have that, half a tenth of a second to kind of get caught up to it, and it doesn't stand it up like on a paddle. Like when you worst expect it, it just stands you up. I haven't had that with a chain wheel yet, and that's what I love about it. Is it's got like this little bit of delayed reaction to it.
Yeah, and that
I will say, jumps suck. Jumps not fun. Jumps are not fun with the chain wheel, and I don't know if I'll ever run one at Bay City again. I did not have a good experience at Bay City with it. So
yeah, and I think like what you're describing would actually probably suit my riding style fairly well. There's not
Yeah.
a lot of finesse in my game. It's like more riding like a bulldozer. So like
Yeah.
it probably work good in that regard, but
right.
we'll see. So
My example is like we all know Kirk Mueller, and he's just so fast. And on his Gixxer, when he puts that bolted paddle on there, he'll be going just all out, and all of a sudden that sucker will just stand him straight up. But you just don't get that with the chain wheel. They don't stand you on an instant up. It tears. They're just awesome. I like even at your hill, you could come to a dead stop and take off, and it wasn't violently choppy. It just tore you out of there. I've been a big fan. But yeah, the jumps suck. You cannot touch the throttle in the air, or you get all out of sorts. You got to coast them through the air, or it gets bad.
Logan, you've never even run a chain, have you?
Just the 2 times that I rode a nitro bike was it. I've even got a whole
What's your reason
chain.
for not?
It's a Sally. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Just say it.
I don't think most of the time if you're on nitro, it makes sense to give up the wheel speed that you have to by in the gearing setups to get the more traction. Like for me, I would rather have a little bit more wheel speed so that when I'm into the throttle, my tire's spinning fast, because you have so much weight with that chain wheel to spin it. And if you don't have the power to do that as quick as you need to and as much as you need to, then to me, the justification isn't there for it. Like
What's the weight difference between like a bolted paddle and a chain wheel?
I haven't weighed that,
A lot.
but it's a lot, especially
It's a
because
lot.
that's been my whole goal with my nitrous bike is making the lightest metal tire that I can. So like I've been downsizing the bolts that I use, and then going to some different style nuts and washers and stuff just to try to keep it light. And I've got a really, really light setup for how much traction I get. And I don't think it justifies trying to spin another shit, I bet you, like, even the tire that you use on there is really heavy, and then the chains are crazy heavy. I just don't think
Yeah.
it justifies the amount I'd have to gear my bike down to get a little bit more traction.
Yeah, and I can totally see Logan's point of it, but also don't try to do what Logan is if you can't ride like him.
Yeah,
Right?
he's a
Like
finesse guy. He doesn't even yeah.
that, and how much momentum does he ever effing lose? None. Where it's like I'm always losing momentum, and I need a cheat code to get it back. And if it's a watered hill, you don't need it.
Yeah.
But like a brick mine, non-watered hill, or at some of the West Coast events where they're not watered, you're dumb if you don't run a chain wheel, I think. And I just like they work so good.
Yeah.
And very seldom do you see somebody run one and then not run it ever again. Like, and you think like, I think like Harold Waddell, he ran one every time it was allowed unless it was muddy, and then he ran a bolted paddle.
Yeah. And then
So
part of it for me is like just the comfortability aspect of it. Like,
yeah.
it's hard for me to give up runs or entire races to try to get comfortable and understand the setup when I can throw a bolted paddle on. I know the exact gearing, the length, the suspension's going to work right, and I know exactly how it's going to react in the air and around the corners, where with a chain wheel I don't. And yeah, maybe it's not a big deal, but you're more than likely going to give up a couple runs to try to get that setup dialed in, and we just don't have that. Like, I don't have a run or an entire class to give up at any race.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have this brick without a chain wheel, Jay. I can guarantee you that the only reason that I had this brick is because of that freaking wheel. So I owe it to that brick. I got to run it now. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I mean, I do want one of those. I want a legit one, not like some phony one that I just made myself because I could, but we're not doing that. So one day we're gonna get
Billy
one.
Goat they could have changed, but I think it was $400 for the set of chains, and then you just need the wheel, the tire and the wheel or whatever, and it's pretty basic from there. I didn't think it was that bad when you look at what goes into building them.
No, the prices.
He's got yeah, I mean, and it's awesome. I mean, that's a proven. Billy Goat is a hell of a welder. Even Kirk has told me, like, man, he can really weld, and that's what you want. You want people to be like, that MF can weld, and he's going to put my chains together. That's what you want, So
I just hate
let's hope.
I hate wrenching and like switching stuff and moving. Like I just like to keep a setup and like not touch it if I don't have to.
I hate messing with
Call me lazy, but it's mostly like just
Oh.
the extra time and stuff, and I'd rather not
Wow.
mess with something at a race if I don't have to. But like, I am curious to see what it'd be like to try it for sure. So
It's necessity for you because you usually have the timing and scoring to do. You're managing the riders. You got landowners that you're talking to. You got 5 other jobs you're doing, and you're trying to ride. You don't got time to wrench.
No, and it seems, I don't know, I counted the amount of like events that I'd race without having some like helping in some capacity, and it's like it was kind of ridiculous actually, like the amount that I go to race and just focus on racing and not anything else.
Is it even Valley City? Are you involved in the scoring at Valley City or?
Well, no, not really, but then I'm the retard who started doing that Dakota Climb Championship, so then I'm always trying to like figure that out, and there's always something little like that, and it's not a lot, but it's still like something I have to
It's a lot.
worry about other than racing. And it gets, I don't know, I'm kind of used to it at this point, but it's certainly nice to show up to a race and like not worry about anything else once in a while.
That's why I said you're the Midwest heartbeat of all things cutting edge and badass. That's just, you can't help it.
No, I don't know. I'm probably just the biggest dumbass in the Midwest. I just don't know how to say no, or like I'm too nice and want to help with everything and do everything. But I'm pretty fortunate overall to like be able to do the things that or help where I can and be involved with the sport in the capacity that I am, and have the things that we have up here in North Dakota now too. So it wasn't so long ago where like all there was is the Valley City Hillclimb and like a couple motocrosses and a Harescramble. So like we got a pretty good thing going on up here now, and you don't have to
amazing.
travel if we don't want to, and you can still have a pretty dang good filled
Mhm.
summer with racing. So
You're making like a whole society and all that you guys are doing up there. It's a vibe. It's awesome. But back to your build, 1190. Now that we're going to be 1190 Austria brothers, let me know if there's something I can help with. I want to help you. So please, like when you get to it, if you got questions, I'm not the most biggest expert, but I've stumbled my way through and found out some stuff. If you have any issues, and man, we got parts. If you need parts, we got them. Okay. So let me know. Okay.
yeah, that's good to know. I'll probably be picking your brain a little bit just to find like a good starting point.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna really kind of be just starting from scratch and have no clue where to go. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the 4-cylinder or move that down the road yet either. So
Right.
but yeah, I think I'm pretty well committed to just. I think that's just a no-brainer with just being more universal across any hill in the country versus the 4-cylinder. I think still has the edge in some of the right scenarios, but the twins are just more versatile on pretty much anything, seems like. So
Yeah. Well, I hope you get when you want to move on from your 4-cylinder. I hope it finds a good home, and that's a proven bike. So I mean, when you do move on from it, I hope you get what you want out of it. And it's hard. It's like let one of your kids go trying to sell an open bike. It's tough to let them go.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. And that's like I put I mean, it's not the prettiest or best bike around, but like it actually, now that I finally got it running good with the exhaust and stuff, like it I mean, I think like it actually could be one of the better 4-cylinders that's still around. With a
Hell yeah.
little more elbow grease and stuff put into it, but I guess we'll wait and see how things go if any of the brothers are interested in it first, and then if not, they're probably up for sale at some point. So
Cool. Be smart to hang on to it till you get the new one, because man, if there's one thing that building a new open bike happens, delays. Oh, they're just unforeseen delays, and you don't want to not have one, right? Like that's smart of you to keep your 4-cylinder until you get your twin and going, because they're important. Like I have my little 990 that I just don't want to move on from, because if something happens to my 1190, now I have 0 open bikes. It's like I never want to live again with 0 open bikes, right? It's like it's hard to let that one go.
yeah, and I'm not. I mean, the goal is to have it ready in the spring, but I'm not holding my breath. Just I know
Mhm.
how that
Right.
has gone for other people and how it can go. So, but I think I mean Dan has done quite a bit of the wiring harnesses and things now, so I think he's probably got a pretty good grasp on
Sick.
that. Um,
Cool.
so we'll see how it goes. But
Dan Matsunaga, is that who's doing
yeah,
the
him and Matt
wiring?
kind of work together. Matt does
Awesome.
the chassis side of things, and then Dan does like the wiring and
Oh,
suspension,
frick.
that stuff. So
Nice.
Hell yeah. Oh, is there 2 better people to work with? Damn. Working with Matt and Dan the man. I mean, that's a winning package right there.
yeah, no, I think I mean obviously there's other builders to consider, and I did, but like me and Matt have got pretty close the last few years, and I just
Yeah.
I like the product that like Tristan's bike I think is awesome, and he does some unique
Yeah.
things that other people don't do and stuff too, and I just
Mhm.
it wouldn't have felt right to go somewhere else other than to have him do it. So yeah.
That's sick. Very cool. Well, awesome. Congratulations and welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
The
excited.
water's fine, Jake. Can't wait for you to get in there.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun.
Well, cool. One other thing back to Sweden. We were talking at break, and I had to mention it, but that frickin' picture of the guy in the mud leaning up against his bike, hitting that dart. And it's like, was it 1972 or 2025? I thought that was your guys' picture at first when I saw it. That was epic.
Yeah, I wish that was my picture. I mean, that's probably one of the coolest pictures, or like picture that can just explain so many things. Like a picture is worth 1,000 words. Like for sure, that
Yep.
that completely sums
For
up that
sure.
whole event. Like just a mud disaster. But like, yeah, no, that guy sitting on the front fender smoking a cigarette, and then there's some people who had videos of it stuffing too, and he'd take a couple drags and then go pull some bikes out of the mud and help some other people and stuff like that. It was yeah, it's quite the experience for sure. And
If that's not like the background of a poster, I mean, I know that there's probably, cancel culture here, but I got to think in Sweden, that'd be a perfect background to a poster for the Gotland National 2026, right?
for sure, like, yeah, that's, I mean, you don't get much better than that, honestly.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. You could just smell that picture, right?
hmm That mud
That's
didn't smell
cool.
good either, though. I still like,
Yeah.
my gear still smells a little bit like it too, and just getting all that washed up over there was, that took like a whole extra day of the vacation and stuff too to get all that cleaned up. So,
Oh,
just to get it
yikes.
cleaned up, I mean, washed up so you could put it back in the luggage and fly it back home with it.
hmm
So,
Oh, yeah. The dogs were probably wondering what the hell was in your bag, right?
yeah, pretty much. I still have it.
I
There's
suppose.
it's still in the bag. I have only unpacked like whatever I've needed up till now. So, and I um haven't needed the stuff I had in there. So,
Right,
yeah,
right. Was it like a peat, like that mud? Was it like kind of boggy, like that peat moss kind of
pretty
crap,
much.
or
So,
what
yeah,
was it?
the kind of the story why it was like so bad is the race used to be at a different location, and it was always known for being muddy. But then last year was the first year they moved it to a new location. It's on the same island, but just a different area. And last year was super
Yeah.
dry, drier than normal. So there was really, I mean, there was a little bit of mud, but nothing too crazy. And then this year was more typical with the fall rains and stuff that they get, and it was like super muddy. So they definitely didn't
Mm,
expect it to get as muddy as it did. And I think they have
okay.
plans in place to like make uh make it not as bad in future years. But yeah, it was kind of like almost, like you're talking about that mud boggy type stuff, and then with all the rains and stuff, yeah, it was just it didn't matter where you go. It was just complete bottomless mud almost.
Dang, it's wild. It's cool. What a story. I just, man, that I can't wait to someday hopefully go there. Maybe I not make the race, but I can't wait to go to Sweden. And I just can't believe it's on an island too. That's still epic. I can't believe that you went to Sweden, number one, and then you took a boat 3 hours on a freaking island and raced dirt bikes. That's just epic. That's so Jelinek of you to do that. You know that?
Yeah, no, I guess, but even like if a person wasn't gonna race, to go over there and just witness like the race itself, and it's always hard to go to that type of stuff and not be able to race, but like I would definitely
Right.
go just to experience it again and watch, and it is
Right.
kind of cool to be able to watch some of that stuff too, because you don't get to a lot of times as a
Oh, yeah.
racer as well. So, but
Right.
uh, I mean, if anybody has questions or is interested in doing it, I mean, I can relay the information from like the guy I rented the bike from and stuff. Like I mentioned, he's maybe not super
Oh, dang it.
interested
I got locked
in
up.
doing a lot of it going forward, but I think if he twisted his arm hard enough, he still would. So, more
Listen,
than
well,
willing
Did
to
you
help
lose?
help out anybody who's interested or has questions, or I mean, if there's anything I missed talking about, definitely glad to even just share the story with people or and that sort of thing. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I lost you there for a second, but I got the sentiment. So awesome. Logan, can you hit the sounder or no?
sure can.
Rolling smooth and bam, it hits. Something in your sprocket throwing fits. A pebble, a problem, some petty pain. Time to sound off. What's caught in your chain?
Woo! Oh yeah, you know what it's all about. This is that thing that irritates you, that isn't life changer, but just a little bit got under your skin a little bit. And thank you. This is awesome. I don't know if it's our first one, but it might be. But a listener fan messaged me on Insta and had one. Thank you. Molly Alexander sent one in, and she said, just thinking of caught in my chain. And when she goes, I was thinking of this segment when I was at a hotel this weekend. Two things: when you book a room for 4 people and they give you 2 or 3 towels.
Yep.
Oh, Molly, yeah, we're there
So
with you.
true.
It's like, come on, like I paid for the 4 people. Give me 4 or 5 towels, right? Is she right, boys?
That one is rough. Been
That
there.
sucks. Yeah. And then she said, when the cleaning lady knocks on your door before it's checkout time, and it's like, yeah, hello, hey, I paid for the whole time. Get out of here. I'm getting my
Yeah,
nap.
and
Right?
nowadays
That
you
that
only
is
get
so
like
annoying.
12 and a half hours in your hotel room. Your check-in's at like 6 p.m. and checkout is at 4 a.m. It's just complete bullshit. It's like you don't even get one day. You get like an eighth of a day.
Right. I feel you. So, hey, Molly, we're with you. Thank you for sharing. Those were two perfect traveling caught in your chains. We appreciate it. And if anybody else has got any, send them in. We'll air them. We're there for you. Logan, anything caught in your chain?
Yes. So I may have two here tonight. We'll see if you guys have them.
Yes.
But first, we'll start with just don't go on Facebook and be an idiot. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. And it doesn't make any sense why you choose to do it. So I have two separate instances. A mutual friend was posting about how job loss has hurt her family and those close to her very, very badly. So our company is growing massively, and the actual company that hurt them, we're looking to hire people from there because there's basically a close company to us in our area closed down and like 50 people are losing their jobs. So I'm like, she says that this is affecting her life negatively. Maybe I should go and help. Zero interest in actually fixing the problem. Just wanted to go on Facebook and bitch about it. I was like, don't do that. It's just a beg for sympathy. So I'm like, whatever. Yeah. It made me so mad because like you don't really have any interest in trying to make the problem better. You just want sympathy. Then
Gotcha.
Back to the crosswind assist. A fellow hill climber posts talking about how terrible it is. And the first comment on it is some guy saying, you can turn that off. And the fellow hill climber says, if you can, please tell me how, because there's no way to turn this off. And he says, yeah, I don't even know. I don't have one. This is just what I see on the internet. It's like, get fucked. Don't come on Facebook telling people about a vehicle that you don't own, haven't driven,
Holy shit,
and have no idea about.
We got to get Jay on some of the group messages you're on there.
And then admit it to people that you have no idea what you're talking about.
At least they did that, because most of the time they wouldn't even do that. So
yeah, I'll give them that. I'll give them that. But it's crazy to think that any old dumbass can make an account and go and post something like that, and you honestly don't have any idea if they know at all what they're talking about. Like some guy can just go and say, oh yeah, I know exactly how you can just turn that crosswind assist off. Yet he has zero idea and has never even driven a Sprinter. Isn't that kind of terrifying? You could just tell people that.
Yeah, that is terrifying. Yeah.
It really makes you think about everything you see on the internet every day. Right?
Right. Yeah. There's no checks and balances.
It's getting worse too now with like AI and stuff. You don't know what's real, what's not, and then you got all these fake accounts commenting and people just bullshitting, and the water's getting murkier for sure.
It's terrible. I feel really bad for like older people who can't spot a disease. I mean, it's like some of the AI stuff. It takes me a couple times to see it. It's like I can't imagine like my grandma's oddly enough telling us a story about how a video she saw, and I'm like, yeah, that was definitely AI. But it's like you have no idea if you don't know what to look for.
Oh,
and it's only going to get better from here, I imagine, too. Exactly. So like at some point we probably won't be able to tell either.
I give myself like 2 more months.
Yeah, I'm already lost.
We know
I've
that.
given up on it completely. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm part of the problem. That's why I get so many random calls, is they can see my age. They're like, oh, well, this sucker will send us money. You know, some Nairobian prince is calling me to help him cash a check, right? You know. Oh man, Jay, you got anything caught in your chain?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I'll keep it generic and I won't mention like names or anything, but like just people that worship the almighty dollar and like have no regard for anybody or anything other than putting a couple more dollars in their pocket.
Yep.
Just had a scenario here recently that's been bothering me about just a neighbor doing some stuff that kind of is is ridiculous in my mind. And just to make themselves a few extra bucks at the expense of other people. Do they have the right to?
dirty.
Yeah, but just being a good human has value in my opinion
Right.
too. And like
Mhm.
they're basically just being shitty humans to put some money in their pockets. And there's the flip side of that where I also appreciate the people that are good people and do think of other people when they do stuff. And this is like in the scenario I'm talking about, there is that other side of it, and I've had them tell me they didn't do the specific thing that this person is doing just because
Right.
we live where we live, and they actually have a regard and value for being a good person and looking out for somebody else other than just themselves, and the amount of money they can stack before they die, I guess. And obviously money is like a necessary evil, but and we all need money to survive and live. But there comes a point where like if it's not bettering your way of life and it's hurting someone else's, like what's the point type of thing. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
like I said, I'll leave it kind of generic. I don't want to get too deep into it, but
Right.
I think everybody just needs to chill out when it comes to that once in a while.
Yeah, basically, like if you have a neighbor and you have really nothing to say about them, probably a great person, right? Because
Yeah.
they've made decisions that you don't know about them, and by not knowing anything about them, they're probably freaking awesome, right?
Mhm.
But the one neighbor that you know all about, there's reasons why, right?
For sure. And like,
So
I mean, kind of just put a little bit in perspective. Like we've lived where we live now or I have for 13 years, and I've never had an issue with um,
yeah,
any of the neighboring landowners. And now all of a sudden it changes hand to a different person. And year one, all of a
right,
sudden, like everything's just kind of fucked. And like
Yep.
right.
we
That
probably
sucks.
wouldn't have built our new house where we built it if they would have done what they've done. So it's like,
Mhm.
Uh,
yeah, no, it's a little bit disgusting, but they'll get what's coming to them. I guess I think just sometimes people like that just need a good old fashioned ass whooping, but um,
right.
whether they'll actually get it or not, who knows? But
You can only
I
hope.
got I might have told this story on here before, but it's one of my favorites. But local buddy, his dad farms, and they run hot, right? The whole family's always ran a little hot, or whatever. And the grandpa at the time was still alive and was out farming. And like where we live, it's country, but a lot of people have like 2 acres or 5 acres, and then they're in the middle of a 160-acre field or right on the edge of it or whatnot. Like that's kind of how we're at. There's a lot of that. So most farmers only have a few hundred acres each. It's not like there's a farmer that's got 25,000 acres or whatnot. So they're all they're all your neighbors basically, right? So there was this house that the field is surrounded by, and the grandpa was out spreading shit. They were still dairy farmers at the time. He's out spreading shit, and the guy comes running out of his house, F-bombing, screaming up and down, "Don't be spreading that shit here, blah, blah, blah. Get that shit out of here." Just F-bombing the farmer and everything else. And he's like, "I'll be back. I've got to go get one more load." And he goes back and tells his son, he's like, "We're going to spread shit on that field every chance we get. I don't care if we put 3 times more shit on that field as anywhere else. You go to that field first. If we have to put ruts in that field, there will always be fresh shit on that field." So for the next 12 years or whatnot, they spread shit there like you've never spread in your life, because they ain't going to be talked to like that, right? Well, the guy sells his house and moves on, and new guy moves in, and they're out there spreading shit, and the guy comes out of the house and waves at the farmer, and he said, "Hey, can I ride with you?" And rides it, and he reaches in his pocket. He's like, "Hey, want a Busch Light?" And he's like, "Oh, sure," or whatever. He gives him a Busch Light. They're having a beer, and he's like, he goes, "I bought this from the guy, and he had nothing nice to say about you." And he's like, "Oh, what?" He said, "Oh, I spread shit here all the time." And he's like, "I'm just letting you know, like, hey, this is your land. You get to do whatever you want with it." And he's like, "Oh," he goes, "You know what? We don't need to spread shit here." The guy's like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "We don't need to spread here. We can go wherever else." And the guy's like, "Oh man, that's awesome. But don't worry about it. If you got to do what you got to do and move on, And he's like, "We never spread shit in that field my grandpa's entire life from that moment on, And it's like, that just goes to show you don't be a freaking asshole for no reason, right? If the first guy just would have came out and been a human being and talked to another human being like a person and an adult, he never would have had to deal with it. But he had to come out and try to tell somebody how to do their business. That's never a good plan,
No.
right?
Yeah, and that's like honestly, that's very similar to kind of the scenario I'm talking about, and maybe a little bit flip flopped almost to where like it's their land and they can do what they want with it, but there was never that like conversation. They just like went and did it, and it's like this is our home. Like, kind of feel like
Right.
our home's almost been destroyed to a point at this part. Like, there was just never even like they're just gonna walk all over because it's their land and do what they want. And me being who I am, like I would never even consider doing that, or I would at least have the conversation with the person beforehand. Like I had to reach
Right.
out and try to figure out if we could buy it, this and that, and it just
Right.
yeah, it wasn't in the cards. But yeah, no, it's
No, I feel for you.
no,
Yeah,
it's
That sucks.
frustrating, but at the end of the day, like it life goes on and it could be worse, and there's
Mhm.
no, not the end of the world. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Did you have another one, Tom?
Did
Or
you
was
have
that the
one?
two? I thought you had one about your brother.
Did you have one or not? I was gonna
Oh,
let you go and then I'll finish it up. But if you don't, I'll go again.
let's see. I had. Oh no, I better not. No, I better not. Though I'd have to edit it out later.
All right.
I got nothing this week.
Yeah, so we're gonna take advantage of Luke not being here and just poke him a little bit. Joel sent a few pictures over the other night of some banquet podium photos, and Luke was up there with me, and I'm just kind of pissed that he just quit. You know, he's just got all this talent. He rides 4 times a year, gets on a bike, he's smooth as butter, no over revs, still fast as shit. But he just doesn't do it, just doesn't race anymore. It's like, I don't know. Not impressed with the
it's like,
decisions.
dang it.
And I just feel like I'm just mad at him.
I think you miss him. You miss him
No,
on the road, don't
no.
you?
I can't admit to that.
The human cocoon. You don't miss the human
I
cocoon.
do miss the human cocoon and making fun of him. I really miss the time where we had that 40-hour drive and he said he didn't sleep for 1 minute the whole time.
I miss Luke.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But we were talking. We were talking, and it's like crazy that when we see him ride once out of the 3 times that he does in a year, he's just unbelievably fast, super smooth, all the style in the world, and it's almost like he's just teasing you, like just reminding you that he could come back and kick ass, but he's just not gonna.
Right. Exactly.
well, look at the Bay City this year. He came and got what, second in the verticross or something?
Yeah, on
wasn't it?
my bike that he had never ridden. He just showed up and rode it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
The hell.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like he's just a little taste, just reminding everybody that you're lucky I quit.
Yeah. Luke is just so freaking talented,
Mhm.
man. I miss him. He always had like a little bit different way to look at stuff too. Like Luke wasn't just gonna do the obvious. He always put his little bit of spin on stuff or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah, it's just dirty, you know. Just I don't know. Just kind of got issues with it.
well, he didn't sell the Buells yet.
No,
So
he does have
let's
all
hope.
of his
There's still
bikes.
hope.
Well, we think. We don't know what Dad's done
Yeah.
with them.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we need he needs like some sort of 3-wheeler class or something, and I'd probably pull him out of retirement
Maybe
or something, right?
it could.
Yeah. Also, one last thing I just want to mention. Listening to Nitro and Mud, love those guys, and Colby set sail and kind of closed the chapter, and nothing but love for Colby. Love that dude. He's just done so much. But listening to the first episode without Colby and Cowboy and Ryan had some really fun guests on, a couple of goon climbers, young guys, and just talking about free riding and adventuring. And man, I messaged Cowboy and Ryan, just said, dude, just awesome show. Like, it was so fun. It just made me so jealous that I'm not 21 and don't have 10 days to just go on a West adventure and just get wild with my buds out West. And I love that stuff. And I think that by having guests like that, you inspire people to go out and do it. And these guys are just talking about free riding and just living. And it was so fun listening to them. And man, nothing but the best for Cowboy and Ryan. And little talks, we're trying to work it out. Talking with Cowboy and Ryan, and we're thinking about having a joint episode before the end of the year and have a little recap on 2025. So we're hoping we can pull that together before the end of the season. It'd be kind of fun to get us all together. But
it'd be a good
yeah,
time.
thanks Nitro Pilot, and love seeing Cowboy and Ryan still pulling out. Is awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely a bummer to see or hear Colby leaving, but totally understandable. And what do you do?
Yeah,
He's out. He's like you said, he's out of the game, so it makes sense. But definitely a bummer either way.
yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think in the time that I would say like my phase that I've been in, like I was a youth and did amateurs, but once I've been like went went to professional races and tagged along with you guys, I would say it's like Matt Musgrove and Colby have like had the most effect on like this generation. Like obviously, Rob Redman and Carrie and Don have done so much behind the scenes, and you, Jay, and all yours. But as far as on social media and showing me what my sport is supposed to look like Colby had a huge stamp on that.
Definitely.
I just I think the world of that guy, and Colby is probably one of those people like your brother Logan, where they have all this fucking talent. Like Colby, he's got an eye that you can't buy, and we had him on his life story, man. Unreplicable. You could not do that life again. I love that guy. I want nothing but the best, and he will be dearly missed.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of like it's like they're both artists in their own way, and you just can't control or contain them. They just have to follow the path that they want to follow to get what they need to out of life, which is 100% respectable. And it's like, that's the cool part about what they do, is it's just when they find what they want to do, they just follow that. So Colby's time following that path or following that line maybe has ended.
Nice.
That
That's
was
good.
cheesy.
See,
We got
I
to
see
stop.
I see what you did there. But no, good stuff. All right. Well, Jay, dude, thank you. First 3-time guest. Worthy. I can't think of anybody better to be our first 3-time guest.
You guys must have like slim pickings, or I don't know if nobody wants to be on
You
your
were
show
only the
or
15th
what,
person we asked this week.
Everybody else said, "Is Luke there?" And we said, "No, I'm out." And you were the only one that didn't ask, so we had to go with.
That's what I get for going to Sweden, I guess. But yeah, no.
But no, seriously though, Jay, thank you for living those dreams and sharing them with us. And you inspire me a lot, Jay. And I think it's really cool how you're able to just put your head down and get done what you want to get done. And like you said before, no bike sponsors, no, you and your wife figured that out to how to go to Sweden and be a part of that race. I freaking love that, dude. That is so cool. I've watched the guy right next to you there, Logan, do his own version of that. And there's just nothing more fulfilling than just hauling your own water, doing your own shit, getting what you want done by yourself. There's nothing more rewarding, and we're so freaking proud of you, dude. And thank you for coming on and sharing a piece of your dream with us. That was really cool, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, and thanks for having me on, guys, and expressing that. And like I said, there's probably there's a lot of details we didn't talk about, obviously. So if anybody wants to know any of that, we can always reach out, or if you're looking for more footage of the race and stuff, of the mud conditions, go check out Gotland Grand National on YouTube, or just Google it, and I'm sure plenty of stuff will come up, Instagram, whatever. Yeah, no, it was awesome experience. Shout out to David, Carla, and Elsie over in Sweden. They were an integral part of that as well, because if they weren't over there and gave us the hospitality to stay with them and stuff as well, it would probably been a different story. So just all the support I get from different angles and stuff made it all kind of work, and hopefully we can do it again or do something similar one day too. I wouldn't rule out France if I had ever had the opportunity to go climb some hills over there, or Brazil looks pretty pretty
yeah.
attractive
Woo.
too. So
Oh yeah.
For sure.
yeah,
Let's
it's,
go.
got one life to live, so I guess we're gonna live it the best that we can. So
Let's go. You got to tell Britta's cousins to get to Walhalla for 4th of July. That was an experience that you could not have. That was amazing. Being in Walhalla for those outlaw fireworks shows, that's a rite of
Oh, yeah.
passage.
yeah, that video you sent, that was nuts. Like I had no idea that's what it was like, but I've
The
never even
freaking
seen
Wild
it because I'm
West.
always doing something else. So I want to experience that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. All right, boys. Well, hey, thanks, Jay. You're the freaking man. Keep being you. Keep living your life. Logan, freaking try to get some sleep,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right?
Definitely.
All right, boys. We're out of
Thanks,
here.
guys. I appreciate it.
Mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to say when shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, 'cause they'll get you through